Well, hello on this fine Thursday, December, whatever it is, 5th? I don't know, something like that. Alrighty, hope everyone's doing good today. Hope you're warm, dry. I know I am. Got my heater on here most of the day. Organized some stuff here. Just sorted some cylinders out and saws out that I'm going to tear into and modify up. Had a few questions on some comments and seen someone on Facebook wanting to kind of check this out too. And a friend of mine, Ben in Vancouver, was asking as well about removing the decomps on the cylinders on certain saws. The decomps are there, you know, for a reason. Obviously easier to start, but they are prone to leak. And I've seen some still ones years ago. I did a video a long time ago about this actually. How these ones are right directly in the head in the combustion chamber, right? I've seen these actually get damaged. Then the center part of the decomp valve here, after the plastic kind of pieces broke off, that can fall down into your engine and wreck your engine. So, but that's a pretty old saw, right? Like, you know, obviously the thing was wore out, it's been damaged, but probably got hit somehow or crunched, and you know that happened. I've only seen that, you know, a couple times, but Donny's seen it all, right? Anyways, so they can leak, which gives you less compression, less power. And if you don't need it, if you're a strong guy, you got the elasto start on the still, or you know, you just know how to start a saw right, you'll be just fine without it. So Ben, my friend in Vancouver, was asking about this, like, what do you put in there? And I said, well, you get these plugs from Still or Husqvarna, or even Echo has them. Stills are quite reasonable priced. I believe they're around $5. You can't beat that. One sec here too, I even have the part number for it. It was 1122 025 2200. So again, 1122 025 2200. That's the part number for this plug. So if you want to take your decomps out, especially on these ones that are directly in the head, just pop them out with a 13 mil. Okay, run her out. Throw one of these in it. This one already had one in it, so that's why it's a little bit dirty. This is an 066 cylinder, or 660 maybe, and it's scored up. But anyways, that's what you do to replace that, get rid of that. And even from Still, from 066s and 660s, they actually offered a grommet to go in the top cover to block that, so the hot air doesn't come up on your hand as you're holding the saw, and it keeps the air passage going across the fins for cooling, right? So you can get that from Still. If you look on an 066 or 660 parts breakdown, you can get the part number for this, which I just told you, and then you can order them up. On Huskies, you know, they're not so bad because they're in the side of the cylinder, so you don't really lose any compression in the head, but you know, it's close enough to the top. You could maybe lose a little bit, but I kind of doubt it. So that's a better system, having them on the side than directly in the head. The newer Huskies, though, like an X-Torque, like this one right here, has them directly in the head as well, like the Still here. This one I've blocked off for my friend, Mr. Churchill. He runs this saw, and in pretty big wood too. I was just talking to him this afternoon. He just dropped this off. He's going to Mexico for a vacation. Have fun, buddy. He's left it to me to change the throttle cable and this brake arm that's broke here. So yeah, I don't run one in the 372 X-Torques. It's a choice of the owner, or when people get them modded, or you have it yourself. You can order that up from Husky. If you look on the parts breakdown in Husqvarna of X-Torque, you look up the cylinder or the top cover. It comes with one of these to block it off, and it comes with this grommet too that fits in the top cover here perfect. And you can use that in a few different models. Or you can do like I did with the 500s and put a Canadian nickel in there and just super glue it in there, and it's covered up. So yeah, there you go with your decomps, guys. And you gotta watch too. Some decomps are different, like a pressure to it. Like the side ones for Huskies It's either softer or harder. Okay, they pop off quicker or lesser. I can't quite remember the combination, but just watch if you put one in a still and it doesn't seem to pop off right. You know, try the original one. But the thread size is still the same, 10 millimeter for all decomps. It seems like, and 10 millimeter for the plugs as well, right? So that's where I do a funny thing. Sometimes I put 2 spark plugs in here. You can put one of those new CMR ones in here, but that's just a funny joke Donny likes to do. Okay, so there you go with that stuff. I'm also going to do in the morning a rethreading a spark plug hole. And I got a saw over there, a Husky, and I'm going to do it tomorrow on a video. But this is the tool you use. It's a Save-A thread, M14 by 125. So you thread this into the so-called original thread, or what's left of it. Then it taps it out to that size there, so you can put this nice little short insert in there. There's different ones of these inserts. Obviously this is the shortest. I don't know if it's the shortest one, but pretty close to the shortest one. And then you can get them longer ones for like Honda engines or go-kart engines or dirt bikes, right? So, but this one here is the short one that I use in chainsaw cylinders, and I'll show you that tomorrow, because I got to take this tool back to Simon Robert Morrison at the Walker Saw Shop because I borrowed it off him. Throttle cables. Let's talk about that on these Husqvarnas. Jesus, they're kind of a bummer to change on these ones. The X-Torques and 372s were quite different. Like the 394s, 395s, 390s, 385s, they all have this insert on the side of the tank here. Okay, this is a 395 one. So it made it easy. You pop these out, you can get the throttle cable out of there, pull it out, and put a new one up into your area, to your carburetor, and then hook it back onto the back throttle lever here, and away you go. On 372s and this series of saws, like 365s, you got to take the switch out, undo the bolt here on the mount on this side, drop the tank down so you can push the pins out on the throttle lever and the safety latch. So you take the safety latch out first, and then that. And I've done a video on this before, but I'll do it again. I just wanted to show you this. So this friend of mine, he's had this for about a year now, I think. He bought it from us at Walker's, and everyone puts down 372 X-Torques, but there's nothing wrong with them when you know how to tune the carbs right and modify them up a tad. They don't need a lot of modification. They just got a few trick things that I do, and it makes them work fine. You know, I build work saws, not race saws. I do race saws as well, but remember, most of mine are all work saws. So this saw, you know, I said to him, I said, how's it pulling that 32? No problem, eh? Most guys are running 32 light still bars on them, or Samaras, or the light walkers. And he says, oh, not a problem. Actually, I run a 36 on it. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, he runs a 36 still light bar on this, but he can grind a good chain and file a good chain. And you know, that's a lot of ticket. You don't need the most powerful saw to do big trees or good work. You just have to know how to file good and run a saw properly. And that's a big thing with chainsaws here on the West Coast. You guys got to be, they're professionals, man. They've been at it a long time. So he was just telling me, yeah, he was up in an area, I forget, Security Bay or something, up in the inner coast, and he said he fell a couple of huge, big crown top red cedars with this thing, running his 36. They were like 6-8 footers, and handled it no problem. You know, like so you know, even with stock dogs, you know, these are the bigger stock dogs, but that's what he runs. He doesn't like the great big ones. They stick down too far, and you know, he cuts his pants with them and stuff. So a lot of followers here on the West Coast don't run the great big dogs you see online these days, and everyone's making and selling. You know, there's nothing wrong with these ones, and same with the still full wrap West Coast type dogs as well, the stock ones. There's nothing wrong with them. The pro safety ones or the West Coast ones, sure, they're a little bit bigger, and some guys like them in the big fur bark and stuff, but it's what you get used to, right? You know, so It's all up to you what you want. You want more bling and all the fancy stuff, then go ahead, get it all. Not a big deal. Whatever you like, right? So yeah, that's I'll do another video of the throttle in case no one's seen my old one. I'm gonna do a video of the putting the insert into the head of a chainsaw tomorrow for a fella, and yeah, should be all right. Just took the little Foz for a little ride. It was 3:30 and it gets dark here right now. Actually, about 4. It's probably just after 4 now here, eh? Almost 4:30. Yeah, it's dark so quick. So, anyways, gonna go up now and make some yummy dinner. I'm gonna make chicken parmesan today. Chicken parmesan, and some spaghetti obviously with it. So yeah, I get up there, do a little chefing, and come back down here and tinker on a couple more saws. I got one more 359 to rip down. I need a few parts off it so I can use to build up this other 357 that I'm doing. So yeah, come down and putter around for a little bit after dinner, and then I'll shut the heater off and put it back on early in the morning again. Don't want to use too much electricity. Keep your saw on the wood, stick your ass, you're up on the road. Have yourself a great Thursday night. We'll catch you all later tomorrow with another video of something. One of these things I said probably, eh? You never know. Anyways, have a great night. Be safe out there. Be happy.